Alright, what's going on, guys? Brain here, bringing you guys another live stream. I don't know why it says that we're gonna be streaming at 9:50. Alright, whatever. I don't know what that is. But today, or right now meaning, we're gonna be going over the Saints 2020 schedule. So, I actually just got an alert that it was released. I wrote down all the names. This thing can be turned down. One thing I do want to see is if my mic's making that weird buzzy noise. It is. Why? One thing I do want to see. Why is my mic making that buzzy noise? I don't understand it. Is it? I don't understand it. Is that better? Hello, Elias. Oh no, you're not streaming a sim, are you? No, I'm not streaming a sim. I'm not streaming a simulation. Hello, Elias. Clocks, how's it going? No, I'm gonna be talking about it. I'm gonna have this just kind of playing in the background. We're actually gonna make our. Clocks, how's it going? No, I'm gonna be talking about. I just want to see. I don't know why my mic is doing this. Hang on, I'm gonna unplug the mic and see if that. Still making it. I really don't know why this is doing that. I'm gonna try putting it over here. Ah, the duck. Ducky, don't die on me. Hold on. Is that better? I don't know why it's making that noise. Does it mean? I mean, I can talk over it, I guess, but it's still really annoying. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Because it's not. It's plugged in fully. That's why I don't know why it's being all weird. I know last time I moved it over here, and it was better. Jesus. So, anyway, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna turn. I don't know. I hope I can talk over it to make it somewhat decent. We have the Buccaneers and Saints going on in the background here for a main reason because that's who they play first. All right. What we're gonna do? We're going to. Hold on. I'm gonna put that like that. We're just gonna make our. No. Where is that? Alright, there we go. That'll work. We'll keep it like this for right now. I think that's decent. Alright. So, like I said, main reason why we have them here is because that's who we play first. It is at home as well. So, the biggest thing is Brady versus Brees. And this is... I'm not going to say this is a... Like, I'm obviously a Saints fan. So, I'm obviously going to give myself a... It's going to be a biased opinion about our wins and everything like that. But I kind of want to go week by week and actually detail it. So, first of all, we're not sure if they're going to be playing with fans. So, as far as right now, we can't say, oh, home field advantage is great or it's going to work out in our favor or anything like that. However, I felt like despite the fans, like, and everything at, like, in the Superdome and everything like that, I think it's more the environment of the, like, what, what the Saints play in. Like, it's like a mental thing. So I'm kind of considering that as well. Plus, like, I like I know people don't want to say it, but Brady, he did take a few steps down. He is still better than a lot of quarterbacks. Obviously, it's Jameis Winston because Madden doesn't know how to update their freaking game. Um, but like, which by the way, Jameis Winston still put up huge numbers. So like the biggest thing is I think Saints are still young enough to battle with Brady. Like Brady is so used to running again or like going against three terrible like or AFC East people. Like the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills have been terrible. Like they may have like little spikes of decency, like okay they're all right, but they haven't like I don't think they've ever really faced like dominant teams in that division. And look, like they randomly lose to Dolphin. Like I get it, it's any given Sunday they can lose, like Brady and all that, but like I think it'll be a kind of a shake up, and I think Brady's still kind of getting used to everything, and with this whole thing going on, like I don't know if I can fully say that Brady will be 100% in communication with everybody because he's so used to Edelman kind of being on him and like being like right in sync with him. Like he was his go-to. And they have Mike Evans and stuff like that, but it's all about that. That's a great game. We're just having this on for background. We're mainly just kind of talking here. Um, I'm just kind of letting that play through. I'm not even really paying attention to it. I'm not reacting to this. This is nothing to do. Brady's not even playing for that. It's going to be a totally different thing. And then, ooh to you, my friend. Ooh to you, to you. Something like that. But I think Saints defense will show up. I'm not saying that this is going to be like like a defense dominant kind of game. I do believe Brady will be able to get the ball out, make throws, everything like that. I'm not saying that he's totally washed up. However, I think the combination of the like a better defense than I think Brady has seen in a long time, as far as like in a division rival game, because right away it's already a huge game for a division rival. So I am giving the Saints a win here. Okay, making it 1-0. Okay. They then go to the Raiders. Okay. Now, I don't know what the Raiders even are. Like, I'm not gonna stay so long on the Raiders. I believe they are a decent team. Like, I think they're one of those teams that like I wouldn't be surprised if any team went there or they came to them and like lost to the Raiders, because it's like, all right, they're an okay football team. Like I can see how they could lose there. I can see how they win. I just think Saints are like going to be one of the more top tier teams. Raiders aren't really classified as that. I'm giving them another W, bringing it to 2-0. We're actually going to, what is this? We're going to make it 2-0. Make that visible. Boom, boom, boom. So, anyway, we're going to keep going. The Packers. So, here's the thing with the Packers. They're good, but I have like kind of like one sentence for everybody with the Packers, and that's NFC Championship game. you run the ball against Packers, which by the way, I I think they like what signed like 10, 20 billion free agent or like out of what's it called um undrafted people. Like they drafted like 5 million of them, but like I think the Packers are going to kind of get a early shock of they messed up in the draft and they didn't really fill what they really needed to do on the defensive side of the ball. And think the like I think the Saints defense will struggle that game because Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. But I think, like I said, could be a biased opinion. This will be a good game, but I think the Saints defense will like be able to make enough stops to make it to make them 3-0. So being 3-0, then going to the Lions. By the way, that Packers game would be back at the Superdome, too. So like that's another thing to consider. Like I said, it's not really the fan thing. It's more so about just the environment in general. Like we're taking Packers out of Lambeau. I think I might have given the Packers the edge if it was at Lambeau, but we're canceling that out. So we're back over here. But after pulling off, hopefully, a win against Packers, we'll be going back up to the Lions. Okay? Now, Lions are one of those teams that if they're really hot early, like they can be a decent team, but then they end up like messing up or whatever. But like I said, this is kind of goes right with the Raiders, and I feel like Saints will be a hot team. Like I think they'll have that formula for success. Like the combination of kind of an early shock to the Buccaneers, a Raiders team that I think they might struggle with the Raiders, but obviously pulling that one off, and then really facing a true opponent like a few weeks in against the Packers, beating them, or even if they do lose that game, I think going to the Lions is going to be another win. I just don't see, like I said, I don't see them truly like having so much trouble with that with the Lions. Then we get to the Chargers, which I have no idea what the Chargers are doing. I don't know who their quarterback is. I really don't. I have no idea. I'm actually gonna look that up right now. Is the Tyrod Taylor. Okay. So yeah. That's a win. I'm just saying that right now. Like I think Chargers defense might be decent. Like, the pass rush with Bosa and stuff. But like I think Saints defense on the other hand, like it'll be just like every other year where they might struggle and give up a few things early in the game, or early in the season, but kind of find their rhythm. And I think especially in the Chargers game, they'll find some takeaways and kind of easily take a win there. And I think for the schedule, like I would see either a 4-1 at the worst, but 5-0 obviously at the best. Like I feel like that's probably like I think that's the best. Like even if it's the worst case scenario, like a 4-0, 5-0, or 4-1, 5-0 kind of start to the season. Then we get to the Panthers. Now, a lot of it, like I didn't follow the Panthers a lot last year because Cam Newton wasn't their quarterback, but when the Saints played the Panthers, I kind of got a detail of how Kyle Allen plays, and he is not good. Like, I shouldn't say that. He's, like, decent, but he cannot carry the team. So, like I said, I think the Saints defense kind of rallies together more in this time of the year because they know they have to make a decent push here. And Panthers, they lost Luke Kuechly. Like, it's a struggling team here. And like I said, I think this is another one that, like, with this schedule, I am not surprised with saying that I would, like, the team would be like 5-1 if they lose to the Packers or Buccaneers like week 1. And like I said, I'm kind of changing that a little bit where that is a possibility, but I think going 6-0 to start the season is a very possible chance. And if you take into consideration, like, if the fans do come back, like, this is probably a very tough, like, it's a very tough argument against, like, to say that they're not going to go 6-0 in this start. Like I said, is this a biased opinion? Yes. And because I was looking at the schedule, it didn't say when they had the bye week, because I didn't see that they had, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then week 6 is their bye week. So they got the Panthers, that's already, I think, a pretty easy win, and off their bye week. And it's home. Like, I don't know what else you can ask for of a team that can already probably win the game and give them all that preparation time. Like, I think they're just going to get better, and it's probably going to be a blowout. So, plus well rested too. So I think that could probably just be a huge blowout. Now, going into week 8, this is where it might surprise you guys, because I believe the Bears could be a very good contender this year. But there is one case in that, or like one argument that they could or could not be one of the best teams in the NFL, and that's if the Bears start or sit Mitchell Trubisky. Or you can say the same thing with if they start or sit Nick Foles. Because with Trubisky, he is a okay quarterback that if you have one of the best running backs with him, they might be decent. Like, if Trubisky went to the Panthers, like, and followed the Christian McCaffrey kind of style of gameplay, then they might be decent. Or if he had a legit top tier wide receiver, like, I could see Trubisky being decent. However, they don't have that. They don't have those big shocking plays. They got Ted Ginn, but I don't think Ted Ginn is a number one guy. He is, I think, more of a slot guy that can burn people and kind of being your, all right, my number one, like, safe target's not here. Might as well take a big play. Ted Ginn's that guy. But Trubisky's not all that kind of, like, he's talented, but he hasn't shown it in, like, a back-to-back year. He had a mid-year, a good year, and then back, like, way down to where people were like, what are you doing? And the Bears organization doesn't know what they're doing, so that's why they got Nick Foles. Now, if they just have Nick Foles in there and literally tell Trubisky, look, you have to beat Foles out, and until then, you're going to be a second-string quarterback and probably will be for the rest of your life if you don't kick it up in camp or something like that, or, like, on the field. Because, like, if they expect Nick Foles and, like, to just kind of compete and make Trubisky better, I don't think that's how it is. I think Nick Foles should have the job and then go to be the starting quarterback, and Trubisky needs to step up and maybe gets a few chances. I don't know how they would do that, but I think Nagy, the Bears head coach, is stuck with Trubisky. I think keep in mind, I think by the I don't know when their bye week is, the Bears, but I think they're gonna make the bad mistake in switching them, because the Bears I think might be up and down because of their whole discrepancy of who they're going to start. So I like I said, this is a long explanation, but this is a win or loss, and I think if Bears fully dedicate their season to Nick Foles and say, Trubisky, you have a year under Nick Foles for experience, you ask him questions, you learn from him. Like, I'm a believer in Nick Foles. I was hoping when he was still on the Eagles that the Saints would get him. Not, I'm talking like way earlier, like before his injuries where he went to the Rams and like people forgot about him. I'm talking the first time he went to the playoffs against the Saints. Saints beat them in like I think it was like a 17-6 game. It was a pretty deep like good game. It might have been a little higher scoring or whatever. Maybe it was like 17-13. Something like that. It was a really good game though. But after that, Nick Foles I think got injured and got traded around to a bunch of places and obviously would wind up back with the Eagles. But I'm talking about the first time he was with them. I was hoping the Saints would get him because, like, he is a good player. And I think he could bring the Bears to success. But for right now, because we're not sure what's really going on there, I'm going to give the Saints another win. Possibly unbiased, whatever. It is at the Bears as well. But like I said, I think if Trubisky is starting against the Bears, I think Saints win, like easily. But if Nick Foles is their quarterback, I could see this being the Saints' either first or second loss. Like I said, I think either the Packers they could win or lose on, but I think given the circumstances and stuff like that, I think the Saints can pull out. And like I think at the start, I think this is a very reasonable thing. Like I know I'm a Saints fan, so this is very biased, obviously, but I think this is very realistic as well. Like I think this can very well happen. Now, week 9, here's where I'm giving the Saints back-to-back losses here, just because I feel like this might like this might be their struggle here. I think Brady will finally get. I think this is going to be a very close match. This is going to be another toss-up game against. They're going to the Buccaneers, okay. Which once again, I don't think Buccaneers have that huge fan base or anything. But I think Brady gets in rhythm, finds their groove, and they all kind of come together to give them their first loss. And I'm gonna change it now because I don't know how long I'm going to. Oh wait, my bad. 7. So, here's the other thing. I just realized this. I had this thought while I was writing this down, but I'm not giving them back-to-back losses. I'm giving that rebound because they're going to remember the 49ers, how they beat them last time, and I think they're going to kind of switch up their formula. And, like I said, I think Saints defense is going to be really good, especially with kind of the beatdown they probably are going to be having earlier in the season. And I'm giving them the win here. Like I said, this is another toss-up game. I'm giving them the best case scenario here. And when I saw the schedule, I'm like, we're probably going to win the NFC. Because of our lineup and what we really have to face. Alright. So, like I said, I'm giving them a win here. Like I said, I'm interested to see what you guys might have in the comments or anything, if what you guys might think. But we are at week 10. We're not even halfway done with this sim game, too. I don't know how this is taking that long. That's probably why. But next week is the Falcons, which is at home. Once again, I'm pretty sure by this time, hopefully everything will be back to normal. I'm giving Saints another win. I will. When I get over there, I'll give. I'm a believer that most of the time you win one and lose one against your division rivals. Falcons always give Saints a run for their money, and I think this time with it being at home, this is a I think this is a pretty easy win for them. I think this one might be like a shock to Falcons, more so like wow, like we actually got wrecked in this one. Um, I'll touch on more of that the next game we play on. Week 12 at the Broncos. I I don't I don't I know some people said Broncos might be a sleeper team. Who's the Broncos quarterback though? It's that one guy, right? um, Drew Lock. So, yeah. Like I said, I don't want to be biased, but I feel like this is how it has to be, kind of thing. You know, like I don't see them losing to a team that isn't like top tier. You know, like I feel like Saints are definitely like one of the best teams in the NFL coming into this season. Like they didn't have a lot of holes. They really needed people to replace older people like Brees and stuff like that. But even then, you have Taysom Hill, you got Jameis Winston. Like I feel like they're they're bad things about the Saints. They didn't really need anything. Like I think like yeah, I don't see like big problems. They got the guy that can switch over to a, like the tackle or something like that. Like I think they got a tackle that can switch to a guard. Forgot exactly, but we're moving on to Falcons. Like I said, I'm giving them a loss here. Um, I think this is kind of just a normal division rival game. I don't think this shows anything about the Falcons or the Saints. I think this is more so just a game of it's a division battle. It's rough, it's tough, it's dirty, it's gritty. You know, all the adjectives you can give about a rival game. Like, it's at the Falcons. Like, I think this is just one of those beat up games that people think, oh, Saints were exposed, or oh, the Falcons are actually good now. No, it's just how everything is, right? So yeah, that brings us to 9-2. At this point, we're going into week 14 with 4 games left, and like probably sitting near the top of the NFC. Like I said, I don't think I don't think Bucky. I definitely think we're leading the division. Like I think we're leading the division by like probably 3 wins at this point. Like I feel like this is like I think unless the Saints completely screw up, I think this schedule almost guarantees a first round bye for us, possibly the best record in the NFC. Um, then have the Eagles, which I now a lot of people are probably gonna fight me on this, but I don't believe in Carson Wentz. I think that injury really messed him up. He is a good thrower of the football, but he kind of reminds me of just like he reminds me of a little like less stat of Mahomes, which like if you reduce Mahomes' stats, like you know you look at Mahomes, which we'll actually get to in the next game. Um, you know like obviously has like you know the arm strength, everything. He has all the things you want in a quarterback. I just don't see like I saw how Nick Foles handled with the Eagles, and it's totally weird watching Wentz in there. Like I feel like Nick Foles should have stayed in there, and they probably could have went back to back. Maybe like back like to like a great team still, but Wentz just doesn't feel right in that system or something. Something's weird about there. Um, I just don't think the Eagles that NFC East is totally up for grabs. If somebody wants to just step up and take it, they should. Um, But yeah, I'm giving the Saints another win here. This probably will lock up the what's it called? I say this locks up the division. Um, the Chiefs, I'm giving them a loss here. I'm not putting a lot of thought into it. This is another, I think. I think this is another like one of the best games. Like how the Saints and 49ers were pretty much game of the year last year. I feel like this is gonna be another one. Only it's gonna be a few weeks from the preseason. Um, like the Chiefs are going to be high explosive. I think Saints are going to come out. They're, I think just as explosive just because of Brees is on there. Like, they don't have the big time playmakers like that, but they have, like, Brees can fit it in any window, drive their team downfield just as good as Mahomes can launch the football down the field in one play. Like, and he does it efficiently too. So like, they're not gonna be turnovers, like stuff like that. I'm giving them a loss because I don't want to feel too crazy about this, or like you guys killing me and like how like obviously you're gonna make them 16-0 or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, now this next game I'm gonna go off here because they have the Vikings. And I don't think we forgave them of the Minnesota Miracle. I'm saying we blow them out like 49-0. We're taking a win. Just I hate the Vikings. Like Vikings literally can just I don't have anything to kind of demonstrate what I would do to the Vikings. But yeah, Vikings can honestly like just not mess with the Saints, especially going to the Superdome again. Like we're not doing that. We are not doing that. I think Saints defense steps up, especially after the loss to the Chiefs. I think I think the Chiefs game will be like everyone will be like, man, this is late in the season. Um, Maybe Brees doesn't have the firepower to do shootouts. Maybe this defense can't stop a high-powered offense, something along those lines, and they come back and knock the Vikings out. Um, am I missing a game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're at 12. That's our 12th one. We're 12-3. Are we? Yeah. All right. Last game's the Panthers. It's at the Panthers. I think this is a vacation for the Saints. I don't, like I said, I don't think they'll be competing for division. I think if anything, this is Jameis Winston's like game. It really depends on circumstances. Like I said, I think we win the NFC, and I think this either gives us it or it takes away. I think if they have their starting team and this is a must-win game, I think this is a easy W. Like I think with circumstances, we're going down to nice weather. I think this guarantees first round bye, 13-3. Like I just honestly think that's how it will be. Now if you guys want, I can go through kind of keep a record of everything, and we can really see how everyone does throughout the season. Um, I can go through the other, conferences and other teams, other divisions, conferences, teams, the whole shebang. We can go through everything if you guys want. I would suggest you guys just leave a like, comment what you guys think. Like I said, this is more than likely a biased opinion, but I think when you factor in just the overall schedule, like even if I gave them a loss against 49ers and Packers, and I mean that's still 11-5. Like, and that would be giving them an early loss and a back-to-back loss. both that they would play at home. Like, I think if anything, this is, like I said, I think this is a generous, like, I think some of those losses, like, they can easily overturn that. Like, my reasoning for the losses were, okay, Brady probably will get it in tune and be okay, and Falcons somehow beat the Saints sometimes. Like, that's my reasoning with that. And, Chiefs were just good, so, like, I kind of gave them the loss there. I didn't want to really drag on about that. But I think this is a very reasonable record that the Saints can achieve, like I said, pretty easily. Because, like I said, Buccaneers week 1, especially if this all continues, like, they're not going to be able to get in sync. And I don't think Brady's used to, these young, actually knowing how to play receivers. So he's going to throw the ball, and it's going to be like, hold on, like, you actually ran that route right. I'm used to throwing that dirt and you making a great play. Like, I think week 1 is, I think it'll be tough, but I think they'll still win it. But like I said, like, I think this first set, like, even if we take the first 7 games, which are, I'll read them to you. It's Buccaneers, or I should say first 7 weeks. Buccaneers, Raiders, Packers, Lions, Chargers, Panthers. With a bye week at week 6. I almost forgot that again. Like, I think that's very easily 6-1 at the worst. Like, at the worst, I think they start the season 6-1. And then the second half, or like, I'll kind of take it to, or I'll take it down to the Eagles, I guess. Yeah, I guess that'll work. So, from weeks 8 through 14, like, I honestly think the worst we can do is, like, okay, we lose to I'm going to say we lose Buccaneers, 49ers, and let's just say some other team in there that we lose to. So that's 1, 2, out of 6. So we go 3-3 in that section. So that's only one extra loss right now. And then we have Chiefs, Vikings, Buccaneers. Or Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers to finish off the season. Like, even if we go 1-2, I mean, what is that? 5, 6. That's still 10-6. So, I think with that, like, so if between the Buccaneers, Raiders, Packers, Lions, Chargers, Panthers, which I think they can win all those games, but even if they lose to what I would believe would be the Packers week 3, like, that's 6-1 to start. And I think with that high rolling, like, they beat the Bears, or I'm just gonna read the next section. Like I said, was Bears, Buccaneers, 49ers, Falcons, Broncos, Falcons, Eagles. Like, I think all those are very winnable games. 49ers might be the biggest struggle. And like I said, the only reason why I kind of threw a few extra losses in there was because there's a lot of division rivals that we'll be playing. Like, we play in that stretch, we would play Falcons twice and Buccaneers. Like, that's why I kind of threw a few more losses in there. But even then, in that huge stretch, we go 3-3. And then we go 1-2 in the last little bit of it, which, once again, I think is very kind of it's kind of a toss-up with Chiefs, Vikings, and Panthers. I think Panthers is a guaranteed win, but Vikings and, Chiefs, even if we lost those 2 games, like, I don't see them losing more than 6 games, which, with that division, I can't say that they lose that. Like, I think 10-6 would be enough to win it. I don't think the Falcons are going to be, I haven't looked at their schedule, but, I mean, even if they get one win from the Saints, like, I don't see that. Panthers, in my scenario, they would lose twice against them. They probably will lose both times to the Buccaneers. Like, so yeah, I just don't see a lot of chances, and I think like if you take the Panthers into consideration, like for a top team, like we face the NFC West. Like I feel like they probably will lose against the Chargers. Out of all the teams, I think the Chargers have the best chance of beating the Panthers. Um, like the Broncos, they'll probably lose to the Chiefs, and then who's the other one? Raiders. So I think they'll probably beat either. They'll beat one of the like other three of the NFC West, like between the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers. They'll probably beat one, but you're talking three more losses. Like they're already at 6 losses, and then you'll probably lose once to the Falcons. Like there's no way the Panthers are going to be making playoffs as far as winning our division from it, unless the conference or whole conference just completely sucks. Like I don't know about that. Um, like I don't know. I don't know how else to really to say it. I mean, I haven't really been watching this game, but this actually looks pretty decent. It's 13-10. This might be how week 9 goes. Like I think week 9, the Buccaneers would get all together, and their offense kind of strikes a little bit. Like as far as getting they're more in the rhythm. They might still get stopped, but they look better. Like that's the biggest thing. And I don't know. We're gonna see what this is because I'm kind of interested in this game right now. After I looked up, but yeah, I think very best. I think at best they do this, and at worst case, they go 10-6. Oh God, that's terribly big. There we go. I think, like I said, at their best, I think they go 13-3. At their worst, they go 10-6. Wait, hold on. I'm actually curious because that looked like it went straight in. Hold on. I'm actually curious now because I looked up and I saw that kick. Hold on. Can I not pause it? Huh. Alright. That's weird. But yeah, I think, like I said, I just don't. I feel like with that worst case scenario, I kind of just gave them, like, alright, yeah, they're a decent team, so they'll lose to them. Like, everyone else, like, that first. Yeah, I honestly think, like, I think that the first set of teams that you play, like through like a few weeks, like I feel like that will make and break your season, because if you start off hot, like you're kind of ruining a lot of other teams' paths, and kind of like you're setting yourself up for a better season than everybody else. Like, especially like I'm gonna say the Packers really quick. Like, if the Saints win the Packers, which I think they will, or beat the Packers, sorry, like they'll turn around and beat like a team like, like the Eagles or like something like that they originally could have lost to. Like I think like the Saints can like totally battle all these guys very well, and like the other NFC South opponents, I don't think they'll do a lot against, like, I think, like, between possibly the Buccaneers, the and then for sure Panthers and Falcons. I think they're gonna struggle with the NFC North and AFC West. Those are the main divisions that we play. Um, I think that's gonna be a really rough. Like I said, I don't think Panthers can beat a lot of those teams. Like, I think Bears have the pass rush to beat Panthers. I think the Lions might be a toss up game, but like I said, like I don't think the Panthers have a chance to do a lot, and the Falcons kind of the same way. Like, the Buccaneers are the only like team I'm kind of concerned about, but like I said, this kind of tosses everything up. This whole environment that's going on right now, because I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be on the pace that people think they should be. Saints are going to be coming in with pretty much the same team, the same chemistry, and they're going to pick up right where they left off. Brees is feeling good. He's ready for at least one more ride before he probably might be going in the booth afterwards. But like this is going to be such a hyped up game, but I don't think Buccaneers are going to come to play. I don't think they're going to be fully ready and like in chemistry wise. And I think that game kind of sets the Saints up for greatness. And that's kind of where I kind of will end it. Because that's honestly how I feel. I feel like that is the best thing that you can kind of get out of like what's going on. I think we'll kind of finish this stream up with kind of watching what's gonna happen here. I tell you, one of the biggest things that's crazy is Madden simulations. But like this I don't understand, because I don't understand that. I don't understand the Madden and their timeouts and usage and all that. Like, I feel like if we notice it, how do they not notice this stuff? Like, I'm sure they run many simulations, and if they don't notice how crappy teams use timeouts, like, I feel like that's really dumb and like really lazy of them to not put some kind of time management into Madden. See, but now it doesn't even matter because they can't do anything. That's game over. So the Saints lose in this opening game, but it's okay. Whatever. Like I said, if you guys have any comments or what you guys think about anything, leave them in all the comments down below, and I'll kind of get back to all you guys. What do you guys think your team's gonna do? You think I'm right about these predictions? Well, I'm wrong. You can argue with me. I'll try giving my best answer. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, any other video suggestions or live streams that you guys want me to try doing, leave them all in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this overview of their schedule, you guys can go ahead and leave a like if you want. If you're new to my channel, we will probably be going a lot more in depth with the Saints especially throughout the season. I'm gonna try to. Something I really wanted to try getting into more is kind of part sport of my channel. But if you guys want to, you guys can hit that subscribe button. Definitely will make me want to switch over to more sports stuff a lot more. But like I said, that's gonna wrap up this stream. See you guys on the next one.